Gentlemen No Class is proud to be a part of the HC Universal Network. Gentlemen No Class is produced, mixed, and edited by M5 Studios.
This podcast contains explicit language and is intended for adult audiences. The views and opinions of Gentlemen No Class are strictly for comedic purposes and should not be taken literally. For instance, like this disclaimer. Now grab yourself a pint and enjoy.
Hey, and welcome to another episode of Gentlemen No Class, a podcast that when the going gets weird, the weird turn pro. I'm Jake.
And I am Rob.
I need a coaster.
And that's Paul. I'll introduce you. And like or not, gentle ladies and gentlemen, we are the hosts for this evening's episode. I just have one question.
Yeah, what's up?
Whatever happened to predictability?
Oh, dude, you're going to bring up that?
I had to. It's the first episode of the year. A lot of shit has went down.
R.I.P. Bob Saget, right? Mm-hmm. You are mixing that good-ass whiskey with Coke?
Yeah, that's...
Why would you even buy that for?
Okay. No, you have it, drink it, but I would love for you to drink it without the Coke. Because, honestly, it tastes so much better. I mean, my preference.
I already did, but sipping and enjoying it, I haven't done that.
Okay, I got you. Because I noticed that whenever you mix a decent whiskey with a Coke, it's like, it's not good.
Yeah.
It's not like Crown and Coke.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, Crown is not good whiskey.
Yeah,
neither is Jack.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I
true.
get it.
Fair point.
Because connoisseur here.
Yeah. So the milkman, the paper boy. What's the rest?
Evening TV.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Oh, okay.
The Full House lyrics.
That's the Full House lyrics.
I forgot we glorify, treat entertainment as worship and
okay,
religion.
I'm just going to mute Paul for the rest of the episode. Who invited him anyway?
I don't know.
Anyway, yeah. So first episode of 2022.
Yeah.
You know, we're getting rolling again. It's been a rough start so far this year. Just trying to get things rolling again. You know, what's the laws of physics say that an object in motion will tend to stay in motion, but like when it's hard to get that, all that energy to get that thing moving again. I mean, it's the same thing with this. When you take a break, like when you're doing it every couple of weeks and you just know that you're doing it, it's easy to just keep going.
The momentum died.
Yeah, the momentum. We turned the momentum off for the holidays, and it's hard to
We have momentum with this.
We
podcast?
did. I mean, it wasn't a lot. I mean, but it was a little bit. A little bit was there, but
I'm with you.
Not a ton. But so how was what'd y'all do over the holidays?
I worked.
Well, I mean, we
my
all
peak season.
We all
worked.
But
other than that, no, nothing at all. Spent time with the fam.
Yeah.
And went to bed like at 11:30 on New Year's.
I beat you. I went to bed at like 9:45.
Oh man, damn.
Yeah, that was a busy day though. Paul, what about you? What'd you do over the holidays?
I didn't do shit. I just stayed at home and looked at the sky.
Oh yeah.
That was it.
Don't look up. Yeah.
Yeah, good movie. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was pretty. Was it pretty good?
Yeah. Really good satire.
It was, yeah, absolutely.
Just,
you know what's funny about that movie? They were wanting to make that movie for the longest time, but COVID obviously halted the production.
Right.
And it finally got made. So it was like years in the making.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Really?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
it probably. I think the delay was worth it because it was the relevance to a lot of it was saying, and
Yeah.
I think it was.
No. I get what you're going. Yeah,
like
it's satire that's going on.
What they use currently.
Yeah.
You
haven't seen it, have you?
No, I haven't seen it.
We won't ruin anything.
Well, I mean, give me the Reader's Digest version. Like, what's it about?
Well, I mean, there's a comet or an asteroid coming toward Earth, and no one wants to take it seriously.
Yeah.
And the scientists are like, no, it's something very real. Might want to take it seriously.
They're going around and
it's the ride up to the event, if there is an event. We don't know yet, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to ruin anything.
Yeah.
But
basically.
So it's basically like COVID, but they
Yeah,
turned
you
COVID
got
into
it.
an
An
asteroid.
asteroid, yeah,
You got
and then
it.
you, and then
Yes,
you
got
have
it.
kind of like division.
COVID, comet, C,
You know,
C.
like there's that one scene. It's not ruining anything, but there's like I guess I don't know, like an event, and then like, the people were like all for the person, you know, that's the speaker. And then they see something like they fucking lied to us.
Yeah, that was fucking great. Yeah,
It's fucking hilarious, but it
Yeah.
goes with what we're experiencing today.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
for sure. And it's pretty broad across as far as like the way people in general, like the average person would handle the this situation. It's not really one sided.
Now, my
it's not
question,
biased, it seems like.
It's not ruining anything, but it's ruining a little small part. Was that a body double at the end for what's her name? What?
Jennifer Lawrence?
No.
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep, yeah.
Not bad, Meryl. Nice ass.
Like pushing 60, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
70.
Maybe, yeah.
I feel like the total outsider on this
I'm
conversation.
sorry, I
have
love
no
it. I love
fucking
it.
idea
Finally.
what you're
All right,
talking
we'll
about.
cut it.
Yeah. I mean, no. It's a great movie.
Yeah, I wanted to see that.
Good, great, maybe.
I wanted to
won't say
see.
completely great.
I also wanted to see Moonfall. Moonfall looks pretty decent.
Never heard of it.
What is that?
It's like the moon is like crashing to Earth,
Interesting.
and it's got I forget who's got it. It's got the guy that played Samuel Tarly from Game of Thrones.
Oh, nice.
in it.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but apparently, like, there's something going on with the moon. It's not what we thought it was, or it's I don't know.
It's a base, an alien base.
Yeah.
On the dark side.
Nazis
of the
are there,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, kind of kicking into like what our theme for the evening is on our holiday we took a long ass road trip. So the family, we packed up in the car and we drove from. We decided we were going to go from Houston to Roswell, New Mexico, because if you're heading out west, Roswell, you got to go to Roswell, right?
Why not?
I mean,
We're taking a road trip. Why not?
yeah. So I was like, man, I'm only gonna have one. I mean, probably I'll have more, but like I was like, man, Roswell, New Mexico, I got to go check it out, see what the hype is all about. You know what I mean? So we went from Roswell, New Mexico to White Sands, which is White Sands Missile Range is right there. That's right now it's White Sands National Monument, which is like a national park kind of. But that's where they tested the first atomic bomb.
Oh, nice.
That's where the Trinity site is.
Ultra Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
So
July.
you can only go to the Trinity site 2 days a year, and we were not there on one of those 2 days.
It's June 5th, 1945, I think it was. It was in the summer of 45.
Why
or
only 2 days a
47,
year?
fine.
Because it's on an active missile
active,
range.
it's active.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha,
So like
gotcha.
they close it down and let people go visit 2 days a year is what you get. So
I mean, is it really? I mean, obviously it's just like desert. I mean,
yeah.
is it really something to want to be?
Yeah,
there?
dude,
I
it's
mean, do they
super
have,
cool.
like,
Like it's
attractions or something.
no, I mean it's just you drive through all these sand dunes, but it's not like Galveston beach sand. So this sand is gypsum, so it's soft.
Okay.
And it's like it doesn't stick to you. So like we
that's
kicked our
awesome.
shoes off and like rolled our jeans up and we went walking through it, and some of it's like real compact and you don't sink in it, but some of it's like soft and you kind of walk through it. But you can rent like little toboggans and like you can slide down the dunes and shit like that. You know what I mean? And I mean it is so expansive. I mean it just goes on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
And you kind of get like
It,
there were people that were
That's-
just way out. I was like, God damn, those motherfuckers are walking far.
that reminds me of like we're in Yuma, Yuma, Arizona, where they filmed like Star Wars. All
Yeah.
this,
We
the
went to
White
Yuma,
Rock-
Arizona on this
Yeah.
trip
Oh,
also.
Oh, nice. Yeah, like that's I always love passing by that, man. It's just it's cool.
On
like,
your
it
way
just,
to San Diego?
Yeah, because it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's such a like I don't know
where you do
because
the
it's
I-5
desert
cutoff, I
and
think.
then like it's still desert, but it's like the contrast, and then before that is just beautiful. California, San Diego is like wow, like just it's just weird that it's just I don't know, just it's amazing.
So after Yuma, where did you go?
So we went to from White Sands we drove to Tombstone, Arizona, because
Of course, yeah.
Tombstone.
Why not? Obviously.
Because
do
I'm your
they
Huckleberry.
do they still have that man, they had like I remember in the 90s, my dad, my parents we went to like there was a
Today, Junior.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. It was a show. It was like a Western show.
Yeah, they
like,
do.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. They
still
do.
that?
They do that still, but we
That
did
shit
not
was-
get there in time. We
Rawhide?
got there at night, like so. We had
Yeah.
to cram a lot of stuff into this road trip, right?
Do you remember what it was called?
It's
I think it was just called Tombstone, like the show. Or,
yeah, it's
or
like the
just-
showdown at
yeah.
the OK Corral, and they
Yeah,
they
yeah.
reenact the showdown at the OK Corral. and
Yeah,
shit
yeah,
like
it's
that.
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it was,
Yeah.
well for me as a kid.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, I mean,
loved it, man. I was
so,
enthralled.
I mean, we got there at night, and we had to like find some place that was
yourself.
open because I didn't know that like everything shut down after 6 o'clock, and we got there at like 7:30, and it was like pitch black. Like I mean, there was nothing happening in this town.
Interesting.
So we
My kind of town, by the
Yeah.
way.
so
Bomb.
we went to after that. So we drove from Tombstone to Tucson, where the hotel was, because there's no hotels in Tombstone. No real hotels anyway. Like they still have like the street is set up like it's a dirt street.
What do you mean no real hotels?
There's no real hotels. Like,
Motels?
but there's like the Grand
Lisa
Hotel
motel?
and the Oriental, like that's on the
okay.
street of like Old West Tombstone.
Oh, okay.
But that's not a real hotel.
Yeah,
you can't
it's
stay
it's
there.
just,
You know what I mean?
For pictures, right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
we drove into Tucson, and then we got up the next morning and we drove to Yuma, and we went and toured the Yuma Territorial Prison, and drove that desert, and then from Yuma we drove north to Las Vegas, and then we pulled into Las Vegas the night of the 30th, and then we got up the 31st, New Year's Eve day, and drove to the Hoover Dam and checked out the Hoover Dam. And I got a T-shirt that says, "This is my damn shirt."
Oh, nice, nice.
So,
Get some damn bait.
Yeah, this guy was like, "You have any damn questions?" And I was like, "Oh man, I really wanted to ask him, is this a goddamn?" But I was like, I don't want to be that asshole that's like,
You should,
you know what I mean?
though, Rob. You have my support.
I would have filmed it, but like they were, man, like everything was like shut down. I don't know. It was,
Is this a goddamn?
yeah. I really wanted to say that, but,
I got a few
Fucking
laughs.
great.
I
had a fucking
think that
tip it to
everybody
ya.
probably does that. You know what I mean?
This
So
guy again. I know. Yeah.
anyway,
right, yeah.
I didn't want to be that
Van
fucking
Dam.
like
The Van Dam.
Is
Yeah.
this a Van Dam?
yeah. I didn't want to be the guy that's like, they get there and you're like, oh, this fucking guy. Oh, there's no
Yeah.
price on it. Must be free. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they hear all that shit all the time. and it's
Exactly.
hard to
and I
cut 'em
didn't
some
want to
slack.
be that fucking
I
asshole.
know.
So
You're just gonna be creative.
Yeah, right.
So we
Tell
spent New Year's New Year's Eve day in Vegas. So we went and saw the Hoover Dam, then we went back to Vegas, and then we did at the Luxor. They have an exhibit of Titanic artifacts.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Did you get on the
elevator?
elevator?
Which elevator?
In the Luxor.
When
It's
just
a pyramid, right?
that-
Oh no,
It's
we
weird
did.
as
Oh,
hell.
it is. Me and my dad stayed there for my 21st birthday.
I wanna go back.
It's weird. Like it just feels weird. You can tell, like, cause you're going through an angle. Like
Right.
it's just amazing. Like wow, this is fucking crazy.
That exhibit for the Titanic, did
Yeah.
they have like the temp, like water and the actual temperature of the water?
Yeah. But there was no water in there. But they did have like you would like turn a corner and like all of a sudden you were like on the deck of the Titanic, like on the
nice,
side of it and
nice,
everything.
okay.
But what they did have was they call it the big piece, and it's this huge side of metal off of the fucking Titanic that they pulled off the, like when the ship split, right? So like it's a piece of one of the sides that had separated from the rest of the ship, and they hauled it up from the fucking bottom of the ocean, 2.5 miles, dude. That's all.
Wow.
I mean, that's pretty fucking far.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So it's like we turn a corner, the last corner, and it's like this huge piece of metal. And I want to say, when I tell you how big it is, it's like, fuck, man, I don't know. It's probably twice the size of this room, tall and wide. I mean, it's enormous.
It's enormous.
Yeah. No, I mean that sounds
Georgie.
like fun.
So
Quit fooling around, Georgie.
So like that was pretty cool. And then we took Edie to go see the Beatles Love Cirque du Soleil
nice.
show.
Yeah.
I went, that's all. Oh God.
You went that? You did that for your 21st?
Yeah.
Dude,
that
that's
was
an awesome
amazing,
fucking show.
Yeah,
man.
beautiful experience, man.
Yeah.
Like I just I can see why Seth took shrooms and what's it called, knocked up
he didn't see,
during that.
But he didn't see the love show. He was
Yeah.
He was
Well,
like Mystere,
either way, like
something
Circus of Ladies, like
Circus of Ladies is trippy
the
as hell.
performance, man.
Yeah,
like they
trippy.
just they don't fuck around. They're professionals, man.
Yeah, it was that
Great
was
entertainment.
It was fucking fantastic. So by the end of that day, like when we were done with we went there for like a Christmas trip kind of thing, and then Edie was like the love show were her that was her birthday present because her birthday's like right after Christmas. So her birthday's like the 4th of January.
Do people double dip? Like here's your Christmas and birthday gift.
Yeah,
Wait,
you have
what's
to,
her
man.
when
no,
January
you
what?
4th.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's like
close
right
to me,
after.
baby.
So
yeah,
we went to I mean, after all that shit, Hoover Dam and then the Titanic, I mean, then walking up and down the strip. So for New Year's Eve in Vegas, they have a synchronized fireworks display. Every casino does the same fireworks. So anywhere on the strip, it's the same. But it was really windy. Like they had a front coming in, and like so much so that they stopped doing the Bellagio fountains because they were like, it's too much wind, and they were like, they were gonna cut off the fireworks display. And we were exhausted. So like the strip, the actual street where the cars drive, they blocked that off so that people can just walk in the street. Yeah. And so people are like, it was like 9 o'clock and people are fucking hammered. I mean, just fucking hammered with fucking drinks and just. And I was like,
you see all the fucking sex ads.
Yeah,
and
you're like,
shit,
like
prostitution.
Here, they're trying to give you
Hey,
for sure.
Hey, Rob, well, like, because they go up to you, they do this and that. So like, they gave me a handful one time. So I was walking. I went into one of them and I did the same thing to them. Hey,
that's another Mitch Hedberg.
Turn it around.
That's another Mitch Hedberg.
Oh yeah.
When somebody hands me a flyer, it's kind of like them saying, "Here, you throw this away."
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, the last time we were in Vegas, Melissa and I went with her company, with her boss. They took us, and like I watched a homeless lady, like just pull her shorts off to the side and take a shit right in the fucking gutter.
Beautiful.
So I mean, that's Vegas, baby.
There's an act for everybody.
Yeah, I mean that's some talent, I guess.
There's constant acts going around.
Handle Vegas, man. Like
no, this was a homeless person.
I know.
I want to go so bad.
The Raiders moved to Las Vegas,
Rob.
right? Then you already had one player do a DUI, got in a wreck and killed somebody. You had another player get another DUI. It's like, geez, it cannot handle Vegas.
No,
fuck going to lousy. Yeah, let's go to Vegas on February. I know that's too hard. Yeah. God damn it, man. That sounds awesome. You know what? I'll go myself. Don't worry about it. Yeah, bye. F1. Yeah.
So, any wagers? Any bets?
What? Queen Elizabeth
did
dying?
Any games?
I did not.
February 2nd, 2022.
I didn't put anything down. So here was the deal. Like I was like, well, we weren't staying at a hotel casino. Mm-hmm. So I really didn't have time. Right. So like at one point, like we were in the hotel, like I was waiting on them in the bathroom, and I was like, I'm just gonna go over here and put $20 in this, and I'm gonna just like this digital roulette, and I'm gonna do 39 black, like you told me to. If I lose it, I lose it, but if not, I cash out. But then I was like, well, then I got a fucking cash out ticket, and then what do I do with it? Like I've either got to play more of it, I gotta go find a machine to cash it out at. Yeah. I'm like, this sounds like a huge pain in the ass, and like. I was just
really?
like,
Don't sound too bad.
I was just,
Were you exhausted?
I was exhausted.
If you're trying to go in and out, maybe it is a pain in the ass. I totally get that. But if
you're not staying at the same.
If you're going to be there for a couple hours at that place, then no, by all means.
No, we were walking in and out of literally. The only reason that we stayed at the Mirage as long as we did was because that's where the love show was.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So like,
what you should have done is like, here's tickets to the love show. I'm going to be at the bar and play video poker. Free drinks.
No. I wanted those fucking
that sounds like something you want to do, Jacob.
Yeah, I think I would, yeah.
Those tickets were fucking expensive. I was enjoying that fucking show.
I was determined, and I was like very serious.
Man, fucking circus, man.
Oh, yeah. If you want to go to like the United Nations.
Shittiest.
Go to circus.
Yeah.
I remember I was
my
there.
God.
I don't know how many you met us over there, and we stayed at Circus, which was fucking the shittiest hotels I've ever been, even in Houston.
Yeah.
And Megan and you were like partied out. They didn't even drink anything, and they went to
tired.
And I was like 2 a.m. I'm like, no, fuck that, I'm going down. And I went to the casino, and I was just gambling, free drinks, and tipping them, whatever. But then it got to like 5 a.m, and I'm like, damn, I'm pretty fucking drunk. And then there's some fucking music going on, and I just started grabbing people, and we started a conga line. And we went around the whole fucking bar, dude. And I'm never going to forget that. I'm like, wow, this is... And I went back upstairs, and I was fucking wasted. And then we ended up leaving. But that's my Vegas story. I'm sticking to it.
Once you get in...
That's
you commit to a conga line.
Yeah, I guess when you're in it to win it, baby.
Yeah.
I was also at Circus. I really had no class at the time.
Oh yeah,
I mean
that's
Circus.
ultimate.
Yeah,
John.
anything goes.
Yeah, so when we were there back in a couple months ago when Melissa and I went, like the hotel we stayed at was the new Hilton, which is at the end of the strip, kind of across from the Wynn. It's kind of in between the Wynn is on one side of the strip, and then the new Hilton Resorts World is on the other side of the strip, and then Circus is behind it. So like from our room, we open the window and we're looking at fucking shitty Circus. You know what I mean? It's like Circus
What
and
a
like
great view.
and a big ass fucking dirt lot like next to it. You know, I'm like, oh my god,
It's
this
like
is garbage,
if,
man.
yeah, that's like the shit stain right there of the fucking.
Yeah,
strip.
yeah, it
really
is for sure.
I hate to
And
say it.
somebody was like, "Oh, you should go to Circus. It's cool. You can live." I'm like, no, that place looks like a
It
shithole.
might have been.
That's like the fucking
happening place at one point.
That looks like Venture. You know, like if you were gonna go shopping.
store?
Yeah, the
The
store.
old, the
Yeah.
Kmart ripoff?
old
Yeah, yeah.
school, yeah.
Like
old
like-
school, man.
Like you were gonna go. Like if you're
Oh,
going
showing our
shopping,
age,
if you're
man.
going shopping,
Yeah.
like and you have a little bit of money, you're like, I'm going to Target. But if you're on a budget, you go to Walmart. If you broke as fuck, you go to fucking Kmart. And if you're ultra broke as fuck, you go to Venture, where the lights aren't even on in some sections of the fucking store.
That sounds
I
about
used to
right.
have. I had a
Circus is the Venture of
Casino-
Vegas.
yeah.
I have a venture story.
Nice.
I had a polo jacket one time. I went there, and I was trying on something. I left my polo jacket in the fucking fitting room. 5 minutes later, I'm like, oh shit, I left it in the fitting room. I went over there, fucking gone.
Oh yeah,
Like,
they probably
right off the bat.
they probably tagged it and put it for sale.
That sounds like
probably what happened.
a venture move.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's a new venture.
Yeah. So anyway, so after Vegas, that was New Year's Eve. New Year's Day, we drove. Where did we go New Year's Day? So the original plan was we were going to go to the Grand Canyon, right? So like we were going to come back New Year's Day, hit the Grand Canyon, and then into Gallup, New Mexico, and kind of drive the 40, which is used to be the old Route 66, right? So
Oh,
we were going to do some of the. We were going to stay in Gallup, New Mexico, and go to Winslow, Arizona.
Carl Winslow, Arizona.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to go to Winslow, Arizona, so I could take my picture on the corner. Standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona. The Eagles song.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason. And,
That's a musician right there.
yeah. So there's a song called Route 66,
Yeah.
and in that song they talk about all the stops in Route 66, and Gallup, New Mexico is one of the stops on Route 66. So I was gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna take a picture at all these places. Well, it snowed for like 4 days before we were to drive through there, right? So one of the mountain passes to get from Arizona into New Mexico, we would have had to cross at night after it had been snowing for 4 days.
Ooh, nah.
We were in the Scooby, but I was like, man, I don't know.
What's the Scooby?
The Subaru.
Oh, Subaru. Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Because you can,
The
yeah,
four-wheel.
Scoobaroo.
Subaru, got you.
Shut
Scoo-
up.
yeah, Scooby. That's just what they call them.
Shut
That's just what they fucking call them.
So you got, I got you.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we last minute changed plans, and we went from Vegas to El Paso. And then from El Paso, we woke up the next morning and hit Carlsbad Caverns in New Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
And that was fucking amazing. If you've never been to like,
Carlsbad Caverns, it's in New Mexico?
yeah, Carlsbad, New Mexico.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, it's not in Carlsbad,
Yeah.
California, which
Yeah,
is a
there's
common
two of
mistake.
them, yeah.
Yeah, there's two of them.
Now I was thinking of the
yeah.
caverns in San Marcos. I thought that was
I
That's
believe-
Natural Bridge
Natural
Caverns.
Bridge. That's right.
Yeah, this
Okay.
Las
puts Natural
Cruces.
Bridge
Of course,
Caverns
yeah,
to shame,
of course, I bet.
dude. I mean, it was.
So you went down to El Paso. Then you just hung a right real quick. I'm like, I'm gonna go skedaddle in New Mexico for a little bit.
Well,
After
so
you're already in New Mexico.
no, we went from Vegas. We went from Vegas into El
Arizona?
Paso
Oh.
because we wanted to do Carlsbad. So that
Yeah.
drive is like 10 hours. There's
Okay.
no way for us to have done Carlsbad
Oh,
and then go to New
oh,
Mexico.
man.
And Carlsbad is east of New Mexico,
I
east
got
of
you.
El Paso anyway. So we just
got you.
we
Yeah.
came down and hit El Paso. And then kind of went northeast
yeah.
into Carlsbad and then down
Okay,
into
so
San
kinda
Angelo
tucked it, yeah.
and then home. So, but on our travels, which was it was such an amazing road trip. We left Tuesday after Christmas, so the 27th, and we were back on the 3rd. So the day before Edie's birthday. So we were gone Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 7 days. Yeah. Wow, 7 full days we were on the road. So it was good.
Nice. That sounds like
fun,
you had a good you had a good time, man. That's cool.
You know what we did on the road? This is I'm gonna ultra nerd out and not even the good kind of nerding out.
Hey, let me guess.
All right. So what do you think that we did?
I Spy obviously played.
No, we didn't do. Edie's got a phone, dude. She has the internet. Oh, okay. She had her headphones in, listening to music, texting her friends, telling them how piece of shit parents we were.
Out of state license plate. And you just fucking hang a right hook to your wife.
No, we did not do that.
Okay. Okay. Fuck, I don't know.
We were listening to something.
Okay, podcasting. Probably.
No, we weren't
The
listening to
Patriot
the podcast.
on Sirius Radio.
We were listening to audio. We were listening to audiobooks.
Audiobooks. Okay.
Oh, nice. Audible, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you at least do the Gentleman No class and sign up and get the? I don't know if we still have that.
Yeah, I did that initially.
Why?
I know, right?
Yeah.
But what were you listening to / reading?
We listened to Harry Potter. We started with the Sorcerer's Stone. We started with the Sorcerer's Stone, went through Chamber of Secrets and Prisoner of Azkaban, and got about halfway through
cool,
Goblet of Fire. And then I finished Goblet of Fire kind of off and on with Melissa. And then she got super mad at me because I had to fly back to Arizona this week for work. So I was there, and I started Order of the Phoenix without her, and she was like super pissed. And I'm like, she's like, well, how far did you get into it? And I'm like halfway through this motherfucker now. Like, there's no going back. So anyway,
does that meet up to all the hype?
Dude, the books are really good. They go into. I will tell you this: the books are different than the movie.
Yeah.
But not so much so. Like, the movies capture so much of the book. I mean, there's a lot of things that aren't in the movies. Obviously, it's a book. You know what I mean? Like, there's way too much. But like, I will say that like the general essence, for the most part, like, is the movies capture a lot of it.
Yeah.
There are some different things that are captured, differently, but and there's some different things that happen, characters that they write out and combine with other characters because it's a movie. They have to do shit like that. So it's this is hilarious. I've had this on Paul, and like, he's just like totally zoned out.
I'm listening now.
Oh, nice. I love
he's
that.
Like, I'm gonna make that a screenshot. I'm
gonna make that a t-shirt.
Yeah. Gentleman No class shirt. Anyway, so yeah, so that's what we did. But one of the cool things that we did was we drove through. When we were at Roswell, we went through the Roswell Museum, and we spent a lot of time there. And I texted you while we were there.
I don't have a shirt.
Oh man, where's that shirt that I got you? What's it say? El Vaquero Verde?
Yeah, and it has like an alien with a sombrero. It's fucking awesome. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. That's fucking awesome.
I got another shirt that says it's an alien holding up a mug of beer, and it says, "I'm only here for the beer."
It was just a Mexican guy. It wasn't an actual extraterrestrial.
Yeah, alien. Yeah,
I
get it.
They're both aliens.
I know exactly, but I mean, it's more believable that my people are gonna be holding beers. My people are gonna be holding beers up.
So
like
anyway,
Anyway,
so I asked you, I was like, have we done a podcast on the Roswell incident? And we haven't. We haven't talked about the Roswell incident.
No.
We've talked about a lot of stuff.
We should also talk about the Fox fucking from the 90s.
Fox.
Oh, the
Roswell like autopsy. Yeah.
Fake
yeah. The alien autopsy.
Yeah.
That freaked me out.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh,
with
yeah.
the Blockbuster video. And a Hollywood video or fucking Video King or wherever.
Jesus, that traumatized. That was scary.
I mean, if you don't know any better, you'd think it was real.
Being a fucking child, yeah.
Well, I mean, we were children in the 90s. So, I mean, I will say this, like, the Roswell Ufo Museum has, it's all about the Roswell incident, but it does talk about other alien abductions and alien interactions and things like that. So there's a whole wall dedicated to Travis Walton, not Dozier.
It's a running joke here.
It's a running joke, yeah.
We need to bring that fucking guy
tell
up on
him
there.
that.
Yeah, we do.
I'm gonna tell him.
We need to bring Dozier back on.
Yeah.
This is the
No,
Travis
he's never
Dozier.
done it ever.
He's never been on here. Yeah,
we
no.
should.
He's too much of a fucking spaz, man. He'd break something.
No. But like he actually told me he would love to.
I would love to have him on here.
Yeah,
All right, that's
I'll
fine.
Make it
ask
happen
him
one
next
day.
podcast.
Yeah.
Give it. Yeah, we
Well,
need
why
it.
not? Why
We
not?
need material.
Yeah, we need to
Next
something concrete.
podcast.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
So, anyway, so we had talked about like going over what the Roswell incident was. So
now, is it a big museum? Like, is it like a day
I'm
affair,
picturing it.
or is it like
no,
half a day affair?
no, it's like an hour and a half,
really?
2
Okay.
hours maybe if you stopped
What
and
a
read
rip-off.
everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Everything?
yeah,
Ugh.
yeah. So I mean, there's not a lot. I mean, you got to realize that this
Man,
incident
that sucks.
happened and was covered up within a day. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
yeah,
it really wasn't like an ongoing thing. So they talk about like
Bob Lazar.
how bizarre.
Bob Lazar.
Oh, Bob. Yeah, there's a Bob Lazar thing about Bob
Yeah?
Lazar there also.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I was like, man, they got all the bases covered. You know what I mean?
Barney Hill.
Yeah, Barney and Betty Hill are on
Nice.
there. All the major ones.
Major ones, yeah.
There was a couple of ones. The Rendelsome Forest incident in the UK. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
No.
Where the
Cigars.
it was
Oh, yeah.
it was
That's in
the
1800s.
British
The oral.
there was a UFO that touched down in Rendlesham Forest, and they went to go investigate, and the officer touched it, and like he had all these flashes of symbols and stuff he didn't know what they were in his head, and then he went home and like wrote them down, and then he stopped seeing them. You know what I mean? That's kind of like part of the plot for Transformers. You know, when he fucking sees all the
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's where they got that.
weird.
That's where they got
Oh,
that
they got
from.
the idea from?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's where they got the idea from. But I mean, that's a big thing. If
Did
you talk about
Aurora, Texas, by any chance? Is there anything
Yeah.
about Aurora? About
maybe
Jim Maz?
the tombstone in Aurora of the alien that they buried back in the 1800s.
I
probably
didn't
didn't.
see that, but that's interesting. I'll have to look that up. So I just kind of wanted to go over, you know, what happened in Roswell and why it was such a big deal. So in Roswell, I think it was
Eureka Heights.
I think it was 1947. There's no Eureka.
No, I
Heights in
know.
there.
I'm just
That's my fault. I haven't gone over there to pick
okay.
stuff up.
Okay. Yeah, but tell me what taste. But yeah,
so,
Roswell.
In
like that cheese.
Roswell incident happened in 1947, right? So the basic gist of it is that there were multiple eyewitnesses from the town of Roswell, New Mexico, that saw a flying saucer, is what was reported. A flying saucer crash at a farm out northwest of Roswell, New Mexico. They went to go investigate. The people there, the guy who found whose farm it was, he moved a bunch of the debris into his shed. The thing that struck him about it was there was multiple pieces of metal that were very, very lightweight for as dense as they seemed. A lot of like things that seemed like they were like sheet metal that would be covering a normal craft that you could crumple up and it would instantly regain its shape.
Right.
And there was just a lot of. He said he felt uneasy around this stuff, and there was two. It was initially reported that there were 2 fatalities and 1 survivor. They went and they looped in the local army
We're talking
base.
about the Fatalities and Survivor are ETs.
Our ETs,
Okay.
yeah. So it was a solo crash, which means it didn't happen with another flying saucer or a jet or something like that. You know what I mean? So they went out there and they said initially that day they released a report. The Army put out, they were like, yes, there was a flying disc that was crashed. They called they put it out on the wire to all the newspapers. And here's this is a clipping of
nice.
of the Roswell Daily Record, where it says that they captured that from. This was the official statement. RAAF captures flying saucer on ranch in Roswell region. This was the initial thing that went out on the Telegraph that morning or that afternoon about this flying saucer that went down. But soon after that, and I don't have the rest of the other pictures, but soon after, shit, sorry, the computer went to sleep and fucked me.
You fucked it too hard.
I fucked it too hard. Anyway, so initially it was reported as what do you call it, that this flying disc went down, right? So as they started looping more people in, they said that they in the wreckage they recovered 3 beings, two dead, 1 survived. So one of the interesting things is they looped in. They had this nurse that was alleged that helped like identify and the bodies and stuff like that, and they were trying to like do autopsies, whatever they were trying to do. Like it's not really known, but she went to the funeral home, the local funeral home in town, and went to the mortician and was like how would you? She's like, we really kind of need an expert about like this because we don't have anybody on base for this, right? And she drew out for him the kind of bodies that they had, right? And this is the drawing where we get the traditional like alien, big eye, triangle head, ET that we're all familiar with, like this initial drawing, right? So as the cover-up started, the initial cover-up happens with, they come back and they say, okay, we're gonna they retract that it was a flying disc, and they come back and they say, no, it was a downed weather balloon, right? And so the general in charge, even though he had already said on camera that it was a flying disc that they had captured, all of the material disappeared, right? So they were laid out on the floor and on the desk in this colonel's office, and he left. He walked out of the room to go do an interview. I forget what he walked out, but he came back, and what was left was pieces of a weather balloon. He's like, this is not what was here. So there's a famous picture of the general holding up like these foil sheets. And that photo is staged because they had already replaced it with the weather balloon. And in his official statement, he says that they had replaced it with the weather balloon, but he was told to, act like that's what it was because that's what the statement that they were putting out was.
Right.
So the only other people that had any contact with any of that stuff was the farmer whose ranch it was, and they tried to buy this guy out. They tried to buy him off, and the nurse who saw the ETs, and nobody knows what happened to her. They sent her to another base, and she disappeared off the face of the planet. Like the Roswell Ufo Museum is dedicated to like every single like story and who these people were and how they ended up where they are, how credible they are as witnesses. Like, and they have even said they cannot dig up what happened to this woman.
Wow.
She just disappears.
Freaking interesting.
So 1947, why does this happen in Roswell, New Mexico? Why do ET sightings and flying disc sightings start happening here more frequently in the mid to late 40s?
I mean, did it have anything to do with the creation of like the atom bomb and
that's the speculation, right? So we
portal open.
No, I think
it's
it's
like the realization that we're able to kill ourselves,
but
and ruin the planet that they may
there's
need.
Theories in the like they're just that was opening up portals, the doing those bombs like Alan Parsons and what's it called Aleister Crowley and a lot of occult kind of shit. Like they're involved with the government and like those times. It was supposedly conspiracy like ritual type stuff to bring in a like I said like rip another portal opening and coming into our world. Basically, it's pretty interesting. And Twin Peaks, David Lynch kind of like he does like he brings that in and he does his spin about it. Like it's pretty interesting. Like it's fucking
my issue with everything about like listen, I'm a fan of ETs and researching them and I want to believe ultra Duchovny style. But like, are we to believe that these beings that are able to travel to Earth and get here with no issue, you know, bobbing and weaving, maneuvering around fucking flying planets and stars,
If
and,
they
and,
were
and,
driving,
and asteroids, and crash here,
well,
and like they get to Earth, and like, oh fuck. They're making fucking alcohol. I'm gonna get drunk and I'm gonna fucking crash. You know, and I don't know. Like, why would they crash?
So
here,
the basic theory goes like, if you have an extraterrestrial form of intelligence that is smart enough and advanced enough to be able to create a craft that can travel vast distances across space in no time, you know, where you can move that fast. That means they have to have some kind of form of propulsion other than what we know.
Right.
And you're dying, Paul. Go for it.
No, I was gonna say either, you know, traveling or maybe just finding again, like a portal to here, or just like from a different dimension, or just maybe that's where they're from. I don't know. Instead of like the given is just all the aliens, they come from somewhere else, like far away. They travel
and like,
through the galaxy.
So that these are just future versions of us, right? They're just coming back
yeah.
home. Or,
well,
you know,
I was just saying like
right.
the possibility of just what if it was just they somehow like they I don't know, find a rip or just tearing, you know, accessing our world. Right. There's another world, and you know they're coming from their world to ours. And you know, through that way, like I know I'm be kind of vague.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. What you're saying is like these are interdimensional beings that are coming here.
So it's here
and not
it's
being
not
able
at the same time.
Right.
Like
So, and that's the whole thing is like we don't really know. We can speculate.
Right.
My theory is that there's got to be some kind of way, and that we just haven't discovered yet, that these beings can travel vast distances. You know, quickly, whether it's through interdimensional, you know, portals, black holes, wormholes, whatever it is, and
they found a way.
Yeah, and they're here because number one, they had to have been watching us, right? They had to have been watching Earth for a long time. That goes back to the ancient aliens theory that they've been here before. They seeded our population, you know, they're the ones that have, you know, historically built, you know, helped build up societies and things like that over time. And now they're watching to see where their experiment's going. And when we first split the atom, that was one of those things that was like a very big red flag to them. And like, look at what these fucking assholes can do now. It's like finding out, like we found out tonight that my fucking cat figured out how to open the fucking back door. Yeah, that was tonight that he did that. So like now, you know, we know that we have to fucking watch him all the time. So
you think that they're monitoring us, and your theory is that they're monitoring us, and that okay, they can blow up themselves. Like we need to come and interfere.
I don't know that it's so much as like they're worried about us blowing ourselves up. I think it's more along the lines of we've learned to control the atom, and where does that lead? Step 1, 2, 3, 4. The natural progression of research into nuclear science leads us from a nuclear bomb to a nuclear reactor to a fusion reactor to a fusion drive to, you know, being able to make a fusion you know, spaceship reactor where we can now travel vast distances or make bombs that are not necessarily like damaging, you know, they're worried about us. They're worried more about these fucking death monkeys are going to get on a space shuttle and they're going to find us and blow us up, or they're going to be a threat to somebody else, you know, their society somewhere else in the galaxy. You know what I mean? I mean, that's the only thing that I can really think of. Like, I mean, other than the flip side of them being like us from the future, and they're interdimensional beings kind of watching us and what we're doing.
So there's just two things, right? For me, it's the existence of this world that we know has been going on forever. But the fact that the crash
really hasn't, though. I mean, we're talking 4,000 years, maybe.
But I mean, what I'm trying to say is that it. I mean, it's not millions of years.
No, the Earth millions of years.
Right,
Yes, yes,
that's what I mean.
I'm talking about human society,
I'm-
like
I'm-
4,000 years.
No, of course. Okay, no, but what I'm trying to-
Civilization.
But
Yeah,
what I'm trying to-
civilization.
what I'm trying to get at,
4 to 6,000 years, maybe.
what I'm trying to get at is like you throw a dart to a dartboard and you hit the bullseye. It's very unlikely unless you're very skillful, right? The fact that they crash landed in 47 and 2 years before that we had an atom bomb. It's just like it's too close to not question that shit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
Either A, they're really got a taste of some alcohol, and got drunk, and fucking don't know how to drive, and crash landed here, or B, that they were here all along, and they're like, you know what, I'm gonna help these motherfuckers, create some technology, and we're gonna just give them a little jump start for technology to where in 80 years they're gonna be able to jerk off to each other via FaceTime.
And so that's the thing.
Here we are.
So that's the thing. Like what is I mean, going back to what you're saying is like, what if those aliens that crash landed, they are us from the future, and the reason that they crash landed then was they were trying to travel back in time to stop us from making the atom bomb because that led to a chain of events that ended their society, thousands of years in the future. So they're like, we got one shot, or we
Sarah
developed
Connor this shit. John Connor this
exactly.
shit.
Yeah, Terminator. Like they're coming back to stop them, but they get back here and they're like, oh shit, and they fucking suck a bird up in the engine and like crash land. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things like you don't really know, but like and then that's that cyclical effect because we didn't really get to where we are without that alien incident happening in 1947 because
it was a jump start for sure.
If you look at the pace of technology in terms of human existence, it is a very, very slow climb until you hit about 1950. When you hit 1950, technology starts doubling every year. I mean, you start
but listen, we also got into the whole steel, where everything was steel, and we started creating everything like things more mechanical back in the early 1900s, right?
Still, but even still, like if you look at like from the Industrial Revolution on, it was still a very linear build.
Limited. Yeah, it was, but it was finally making a gradual.
It was
not
growth. It was not. We've always been making a gradual growth. Finish your cookies and then you'll come in. It's always been making a gradual growth from the wheel up until the Industrial Revolution. Through the Industrial Revolution.
It was a jump start. It was a big jump start.
It was a huge jump.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think that you really understand.
Maybe Einstein was an alien.
I don't think you really understand how many things that we invented and came up with that were so out of this world revolutionary after this happened.
What could it have been? Just Edison popped, or
Edison's been dead at this point.
I understand that, but Edison and fucking Tesla popped the balloon to create that electrical energy, and then that kind of like, let's go up there.
Okay, I will tell you like this. Tesla had a lot of great ideas and knew a lot of things that were revolutionary for his time and are still not fully understood in our time. But I'm talking about in the 50s, you start fucking around with microprocessors, semiconductors. All of these things were not even dreamed of or thought about before then.
Now, you're right. I'm with you. Yeah.
So that my theory is that like that the Roswell incident introduced a lot of technology that we have thus far reverse engineered, and that's what kicked off the digital age of man. Was really the Roswell incident, because from then on, that's when we started getting, we started moving away from. Go ahead.
No. I'm just saying accelerating.
Yeah.
From there,
sure.
It just.
But I don't want to. See, the thing is, my argument is that I totally agree, because there is a little small window in history that gave us a jump start, whatever it was, right? Whether it be in the crash landing of Roswell, and we just gained that technology from the crash site, or they were here all along. It's just that
I don't think they were here all along.
It's just,
If they were here all along, there'd be
mind.
more evidence of them than
the
that.
crash site. Though is what I'm trying to get at. Is like it's crash. It's a crash site. They come from. Obviously not from here.
Maybe
not
they
are
them,
from
but
here.
some other ones.
Well, but this is the whole thing. You're assuming that just because an alien race is technologically advanced and superior, that they don't have equipment malfunctions. You're saying that like you're expecting perfection where perfection doesn't.
Well, you have to be somewhat perfected to go from wherever they came from, or maybe this is my argument.
If you're going from a medieval times, if you're talking about knights on horseback versus us right now in trucks and cars and computers and shit, that shit looks like fucking witchcraft.
Yeah, it's foreign. Yeah, absolutely.
But they would look at us and be like, you would be nuts if there was any kind of safety failure of this and it could possibly kill you. You're driving around a car full of gasoline that could explode at any moment. You know what I mean? From the perspective of you not understanding, you don't understand. Like now we are so ingrained to just be like, oh, whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's a big deal. Oh, my car stalls out of brakes, whatever. I call the mechanic. The same thing is going to move forward.
I'm sure perfection's never going to be perfected. It's never going to be perfect. Okay. My argument is that we're going based off a crash site that, okay, they come from somewhere else. They crashed here. That's odd. A. B. We also assume, based on a drawing, that if they're not from here and they're from another world, why do we think that, you know, I mean, obviously someone saw it and they drew it, but why do we think that they have a head, they have two fucking arms and two legs? I want to believe, and I deep down I do believe. Don't get me wrong.
Are you saying like
it's just so
evolution of
it's just it's
being?
It's too much like us. Like we are from Earth and we evolved because we are from this planet.
Yeah.
But that just tells us that there are other planets that are like Earth, that other beings or other species evolve similarly. Maybe they don't have any reproductive organs. They just have two eyes. Why they have two eyes?
Yeah.
Why they have two arms? Why they have two legs?
Why are they bipedal? I mean, that's a big thing. It's like we don't know because you can't compare life. We don't know. We don't have the proof of life to compare with to other other than our own. So we can't sit here and say that
we have an octopus that lives on this planet.
And a lot of scientists believe that octopus are aliens.
That's true.
Because their DNA is unlike any other organism on this planet. So, but that doesn't mean that. But if you didn't know any better, if you didn't know any better, and you're like,
I need here. No, I'm just kidding.
If you didn't know any better, and you were like, oh, I need to look at all these creatures that are all from Earth, and you went to a zoo, like. You wouldn't assume that all these creatures are from the same planet if you didn't have a frame of reference that way.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But every creature on Earth, or for the most part, most vertebrate creatures on Earth, have developed with four limbs, two eyes, and the basics of the same reproductive, pulmonary systems, digestive systems. The basics are all there. So. What does that tell you? Does that tell you that like there's a convergence on the way that biological life evolves, or is it just that only happens on Earth? I don't know. We don't know. We have no basis for comparison.
Well, I think what it is just our limited capabilities of like what we perceive or like as far as like what we can think, what could be as far as like what what an alien would look like, far beyond, like we can't even probably comprehend what one could, look like or be.
Right.
And it's just limited capacity, like what we know. Like
that's what I'm just saying. Like the cards fall perfectly in line to where we assume because of the drawing and whatnot, because that kind of created this whole, big-headed, long arms.
It created the whole concept of the Greys, what we call the Greys, the little men with the big head and the eyes. Who is that Stanley, whatever his name is, that fucking the fraud guy that made all those fucking videos with the aliens?
He's a pedophile.
Yeah.
Fucking fraud.
Before.
Yeah, I mean that's
I know what you're talking about.
Stanley, whatever his name is. Fucking,
I'll look it up.
Yeah,
go ahead,
look
please
it
do
up. This is why we need a producer so that they can just feed us information. So
Yeah.
I don't have to do all of it.
Fucking,
at once.
Jamie
I'll
from
be a
Joe Rogan,
producer,
yeah.
baby.
Yeah, okay, you can be the producer. You can't be on the show at the same time, though.
Boom.
Oh, where is it?
Fuck yourself, you silly fucking butt crust.
Nope,
No,
that's not
that's
it.
not it.
Is it this one?
There it is. No. Again, I have this big old poster in my garage. Like, I want to believe. You know, I truly do.
I mean, and that's, and I do too. I want to believe.
Stan Romanek.
Stan
Romanek,
Romanek.
yes.
Yeah. That's another good one to Wikipedia and look up if you're interested about fucking frauds.
Yeah.
Stan Romanek.
And check out some of his videos on YouTube, and being interviewed and claiming all this random shit just happening, but clearly you can see he's just throwing paper clips. He's like doing misdirection, and very poor illusionist, by the way.
Yeah.
And it's just
I
clearly
think one
obvious.
of the best things is that he
Terrible.
convinced his wife that chick that they had shared time on that alien spacecraft together, this woman, and his wife is totally okay with it. She comes pregnant with Stan's kid. Remember that? He's very obviously just cheating on his wife.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course,
You know
of
what I
course,
mean?
Fucking asshole.
And he makes up this elaborate story that they had both been
My man,
kidnapped by the same aliens, and they were bred together on this alien space. Come on, man.
Yeah.
And his wife fucking buys it, dude.
Oh,
She
man.
buys it. Like, you can tell in the interviews. You can tell look, when she's talking, she 100% believes him.
Yeah.
And he makes up these things, those videos where he's like, just happens to have the camcorder ready, and this fucking alien is standing outside his sliding glass
it's so
door.
fucking
It's just
stupid.
standing there.
Yeah, this fucking poor production value.
Let me tell you
and
what
poor effort.
what I think. This is what I think. All right, I think that because that technology is advancing at a crazy rate right now, that
Godlike.
yeah, there's
technology
no way we're able to stop it, right? So I think that they're going to eventually reveal that, like, it's there. The evidence it's going to be. I think everybody has a camera. Everybody has a camera, so it's going to, show itself eventually.
Pert near, yeah.
Sooner rather than later, I think. And I think with this whole, I don't want to get political, but I am kind of sort of, but this whole mass hysteria about viruses and everything controlling is just a prime to prime us to when they reveal themselves that we're going to be controlled a little bit more than what they can in the past. If that makes any sense.
Okay, so you think this is all a control thing then?
I think it's. I mean, I do believe that
like
there.
it.
I think it's a very real thing, but I think the very real thing has there's a reason for it, and it's just to kind of control
So I think
Yeah.
to a certain degree.
I agree with you to
Yeah.
a certain extent.
Keep us in our own matrix.
Yeah, kind of.
But it's a real thing. I still think it's a real
final
thing.
final thoughts. We'll wrap this up, but I feel like especially the Pentagon acknowledging the Tic Tac UFO
Yes,
videos and things
exactly,
like that.
exactly.
It's a slow burn, right? It's like it's been going on for so long that they finally are like, yes, we'll admit that those videos are. We don't know what they are. We're not going to admit what they are, but they're not ours, is what they're coming out and saying. So if they slowly start putting this into the forefront of society and making it not so taboo to talk about, where if you talk about aliens, you're a fucking nut job, because that's the way it's been for 60 years.
Now you had that one
since
Demi
the Roswell-
Lovato joining this fucking network to do this stupid shit,
Don't
right?
get me started
No,
on
I know,
that.
but
if
if
I
it's
could
getting a little bit more acceptable, is what I'm trying to say.
I mean, but if
I know what you mean.
if I could dump celebrities that are on board with this, like, I'd just be like, look, just go away. Like, we don't want you.
Of course,
Go join Scientology or something. They need people.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it would be. I think that it you're right. It's a measure of control. So they're releasing little tidbits to us, so it becomes more and more normal, and the conversations come out there more and more. And I think that you finally have a generation of Americans and people in general in the world that are not so skeptical of otherworldly beings or interdimensional beings, or the fact that accepting we're in a I know it may not seem this way, but we're in a society where science is and what scientists say is mostly accepted as just standing fact. And even though like science is an ever evolving thing, it's not like generations past where people, just didn't understand it. We have a very well educated generation that's coming up now, and that is coming into its own. The 30, 40, 50-year-olds, they're a lot more intelligent than past generations, so they're able to accept things like this a little bit easier. So as they start now they're going to start dumping information and progressing things forward until one day they're just going to have to rip the Band-Aid off and just be like, okay, fucking aliens are real. You know what I mean? Like, yes, we know. Like, but we couldn't just come out and tell you.
But I think it's like a slow conditioning to where, like you said, it's gonna arrive to the point like, hey, it just, and that's the best way of doing it, instead of just like the hard contrast of like the 50s. Hey, aliens are real. Fucking people go nuts probably, and they're just so. Just the way of thinking that back then, it's just so outdated. Like, they had a ways to go, and just compared to now.
Yeah, society had to be at a certain point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't just come out in 1947 and be like, yeah, fucking aliens, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's like very immature, but like early, like, I don't know, just as far as like a country and like the way of thinking, and just. A lot of technology was happening, but it wasn't really matching necessarily the, how am I gonna say this? Like the, I guess, just I don't know, just a lot of ignorance. There was a lot of ignorance that time, is what I mean.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, and just over each generation, it just starts diminishing. And, and just
you just
come a long fucking way.
You have
really.
to understand. You have to understand. Whenever you see progression, someone's going to be let down. Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, and that goes with science, too, because in order for you to get new science in, something has to be wrong, right?
Yeah.
In the past.
Right,
so, I mean, there has to be,
it always has to be corrected.
Exactly. And I'm not saying they got it wrong or anything like that. I like I said, I think it's a very real thing, what we're going through right now. And it's just, but what's crazy about it is that we're seeing the way people react on everything.
Yeah,
and that's like, hey, if they want to rip it off like a Band-Aid, like, hey, aliens are here. I don't think we're ready for that yet, because we're not ready for a virus is here.
Well, so
you know what I mean? So,
okay,
no.
I'm not.
What I'm trying to get at, what I'm trying to get at is like people are attacking each other just because of something like that.
Yeah.
If it's because I seriously think that it's one of those things where
it could be fucking turned political.
No.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
No.
Unless they set a fucking spaceship down on the White House lawn, and even then, some back hillbilly fucking redneck will be like, that shit's photoshopped. It ain't real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
cognitive dissonance, baby.
To clear my thought, like I do believe the virus is real. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say is that could it be a man-made thing? Maybe, I don't know. But I'm just like, this is a very perfect example to whereas like, how can the people of the world control something that's just thrown there? And obviously
we're not ready for it.
We're not ready for it. So now if they release the aliens, we're definitely not going to be ready for it.
So, and I think that like we have spent the last 60, 70 years building society to a point where they have a healthy fear and healthy respect for what those aliens could be. Through pop culture, you know what I mean? You put out movies like E.T. where you're like, hey, there may be like cool benevolent aliens, and then you put out then you put out movies like Alien, and you're like, these motherfuckers could fucking kill you. Like, and you put it, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, they like put out like, or The Thing, you know what I mean?
It's not even and that's kind of more realistic. It's not even a fucking being. It's just like. I think it's like, isn't it like just like a?
I've never seen it.
Oh, you never seen it?
Me neither. I know I have parts of it, but yeah.
I think it's like some sort of like venom, like a symbiote, you know? And
it just adapts. It's just like a bacteria or something.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's fucking. It just gets a.
Am I boring?
It needs a
No,
host.
I'm tired. Man, I'm sorry. I've been on the road all, and like I was in Phoenix this morning, and I flew in.
Phoenix.
I didn't get.
Phoenix.
I got home. I
Hey,
got
speaking
home.
of Phoenix, you know
I
they have
wanna
a
take that
whole
drive
alien
so
thing there over
bad,
there,
you
right?
Fucking bastards.
Do what?
In Phoenix, the lights in Phoenix.
Oh yeah, the
where
Phoenix
the
lights,
governor was like,
Yeah, fucking
it's
coward.
nothing. Then he comes
fucking
out years
bought-out
"Ah,
later, like
motherfucker.
yeah.
whatever.
That
Light show
that
over
could be
Phoenix.
another. We can talk about that on another episode because it is time for us to sign off. So on that note, nice. I've been Rob.
And before I announce, R.I.P. Betty White and Bob Saget. Even though Betty White was last year, this is the first. I think we should do that a bit. Every episode, people are going to die. We're going to talk about it at the very end and sign off on them. No.
Celebrity
Sign off to
worship
Bob
is a
Saget.
bitch.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah,
Jake.
Betty White. So R.I.P. Betty White. So and this Joker over here is yeah. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah,
All right.
I agree.
The producer.
I want to be hated.
Good.
For God. Yeah.
How about
it's
we
me.
mute the music and just leave Paul on? I think we're taking the lesser of the two evils.
Is that it?
No.
I mean, I thought we were gonna get like this is 2022. Like we were gonna get some new music.
Okay, I'll work on it. I'll try something.
You've been saying that for a while.
I
Man.
know, but hey,
Try to
this-
not make it sound like Stranger
just-
Things.
Or
no, I'll be me. This is me, baby.
or like
I'll
Doogie,
be me
Doogie
regardless.
Howser
regardless.
typing his fucking outro.
I
his
just
final thought.
I adopt so
Jerry
many
Springer.
ideas from many genres. I just blend them in. I don't give a fuck. I just whatever I like.
Man.
I'll make it work.
You should harmonize this shit and like throw it like 4 octaves down.
Nice and fat.
Oh, you should squirrely this.
Fuck you. It's like deforming my child. Fuck off. Yeah. No, not a bad idea. Maybe I will. Oh man, this sucks.
This song does suck.